Hello everyone. I'm so excited you're here. Welcome. Let me get everything straightened here. I'm trying to pull it up on my screen so I can see if I can see comments. Let me see, because I want to be able to see who I am talking to. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think so. All right, just give me a minute here. Oh, I'll turn down the volume. Okay. All right. I'm good. Okay. All right, so I'm so excited. Today's the day. The Stampin' Up! Mini catalog is going live. The Sale-A-Bration catalog is going live. This is Stampin' Up's biggest promotion of the year. I have to apologize for my voice because I am getting over a cold. So still a little scratchy, but I'm so glad you're joining me today, whether it's live or you are watching me on the live recording. But now that's January 3rd, I can actually open up the catalog and show you the inside of it. We weren't allowed to until today. So I hope you have a copy. I mailed them out, so you should have it by now, and you can look through it with me as I stamp projects. But today at 10 a.m., I'm going live all day. 10 a.m., 1 a.m., 4 p.m., or 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. And I'm going to do different project demonstrations using the different suites. So, okay, if you're just joining me, my name's Nicole Steele. I am the Joyful Stamper. I'm the owner of thejoyfulstamper.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I love what I do. I love stamping. I love going live like this. I love teaching classes. I love it all. So, hi, Jane. So if you are new to Stampin' Up., you may not know what Sale-A-Bration is. Sale-A-Bration is a 3-month promotion Stampin' Up! Runs every year from January through March. And in this catalog, there's some really cute products. And for every $50 you order, you can pick a level 1 stamp set, or not a stamp set, but a level 1 product. So for instance, they're all marked. So like this Meerkat set, if you place a $50 order, you can choose that if you want. And we have what's called level 2 products, where if you place a $100 order, you can choose a level 2 product. And the catalog's filled with all level 1, level 2, and there's no limit to what you can get. So if you order, let's say $250, you can choose 5 level 1 products, or you can choose a mix of level 1 and level 2 products. It's your choice. You can get multiples of the same thing. It's totally up to you. Stampin' Up's biggest promotion of the year, their most popular promotion of the year. A lot of people use it as a time to stock up on their card stock, on their ink pads, their ink refills, envelopes, adhesives, that kind of stuff. But there's also a lot of new pretties in this catalog too. So today, we are going to focus on the Peaceful Poppies Suite. But before we get to that, I have to tell you about the best deal that Stampin' Up! Has. Anytime is a good time to join Stampin' Up!, but during Sale-A-Bration, it's especially good because they always have a join special. And the starter kit's always $99, plus sales tax. But during Sale-A-Bration, they throw in a bunch of other stuff too. So, for instance, $99, you get to pick out $125 of product. Entirely your choice. You can choose it from the clearance rack. You can choose it from the mini catalog. You can choose it from the annual catalog. It's up to you. But during Sale-A-Bration, you also get a free mini paper cutter. And it's the guillotine style. So the blade's self-sharpening. It never needs replaced. It's really cute. You can cut all your 6x6 paper with it. You also will get a free 6x6 inch paper sampler here, which is a sampler of some of the designer series papers in the mini catalog. You're also going to get a free stamp set of your choice. And again, you can pick whatever you want from the mini catalog, from the annual catalog, from the clearance rack. But in my opinion, you should go for the most expensive one on your wish list, of course. You also get free shipping on the starter kit, and you're going to get a package of business supplies. Now, does that mean you need to do this as a business? Absolutely not. 97% of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators are not business builders. They do it simply because they love stamping and they want to get high quality products at a discount. They want to be a part of a team because it's fun to be in community with other stampers. And that's why they join. But if you want to do this as a business, whether full-time, part-time, or just enough to fund your hobby, you can do that too. So the business, you get business supplies with the starter kit. But all of that, $99 plus tax, no shipping, all the things that you get for free, all the products, the extra products you get to pick. This is a really, really good deal. So I would love to have you join my team of joyful stampers. Let me know if you're interested and I can get a packet out to you or answer any questions you have. You can email me at nicole@thejoyfulstamper.com or go to my site, thejoyfulstamper.com, and click on the tab about joining my team to get more information. Okay. Now I'm going to turn to the Peaceful Stampers, or the Peaceful Poppies bundle. So in the front of this catalog, they list all the different bundles that are in here. And I'm going to go to page 26. And this is what we're using. It actually starts on the page before, if you can see it. Lots of product samples here. I love this new layout of the catalog because it allows them to show a lot more samples, and they're so pretty. This set is so pretty. What I especially love about this suite is the paper. It is gorgeous. Something else that they started doing in this new mini catalog is they show you the color swatches with the suite. This is so helpful because you can check your ink pads, your markers, your cardstock to see if you have those colors. And it's so quick and easy to see at a glance what colors make up this suite. And you can see there's a lot of them. This is spring. This is bright. This is colorful. I love this. And I actually won the stamp set when I was in Las Vegas, the Painted Poppy stamp set when I was in Las Vegas for the On-Stage convention. And I have absolutely loved working with it. The images are gorgeous. And here's what I really like. See this stamp here? You can ink that up and stamp it on top of the flowers. So if you don't like coloring, you don't have to. This is a really easy way to add color to the poppies without actually picking up a marker or a watercolor brush or a watercolor pencil. You can do that if you want to. But if you like the easy way of stamping, this is great. And you can even add some splatters with it too. So this is a really great set. And look, there's even more samples up there too. There's also coordinating dies. There's a second stamp set with this bundle too. The Peaceful Moments bundle. So there's dies that go with each of those. And there's crinkled seam binding ribbon, which we're going to use today in our products. I have some here. There's also Peaceful Poppy sequins. I've got those here too. What's really cute about them is some of the sequins are in the shape of flowers. Whoop, here's one. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Can you see that? It's a little flower sequin. They're adorable. Now, if you're wondering how to glue such tiny things on, I would use the fine tip glue that we have right here. That's how I glued them on. Or you can make a shaker card if you want. Oh, look, one stuck to the lid. And the other thing that's part of it too is the Peaceful Poppies elements. We're going to be using that on the card. And let me turn the page. You can see all the sentiments that are in the Peaceful Moments set. And there's matching dies for that. You can buy this as a bundle at a 10% discount. And then this is what I'm working with today, the Painted Poppies and the Painted Labels dies. I love this die set because while there are dies to cut out these three images here, the rest of the dies are labels, a beautiful scallop border, some swirls. You can use them with any stamp set. They're not limited to just the Painted Poppy set, and that's what I like about a die set. I want to be able to use it with a bunch of different stamp sets, not just one. So let me grab my supplies. Okay, and we're going to take a look at the paper and the other products in this set, or the suite. Now, I've already started to use this paper, so it is cut up, but I couldn't wait until today to dive into it. So you've got this, and look at this one is one of my favorites. I just like the mix of colors on there. And then we have some green stripes. And we've got this. Look at all that Blackberry Bliss. That's a gorgeous purple. We've seen that. This piece we're going to use today also. And here's the really, really cool thing. You can cut this particular sheet of paper into 4" by 5 1/4" pieces, and you can get 6 cards from one 12 by 12 sheet. So what you'd want to do is cut 5 1/4 here, and then cut it 5 1/4" down there, and then slice these into 4" sections. This middle part you can use as an accent on your card, but you will get all these watercolor images on your card front, and we're going to make a card with it today. This would make a really cute note card set for somebody, and then you can use one of the die cuts to stamp a greeting on the labels. Okay, then we have this pattern here. Ooh, I love this mottled watercolor look. Love it. I love when things are made to look slightly imperfect, because then when I mess up, nobody knows. It looks like it's made to be that way. Ooh, this is another Blackberry Bliss, or it could be Rich Razzleberry. They're both hues, purple hues. Ooh, look at this. Those are giant poppies. And look at the splashes. Oh, look at this one. You know, I've worked with this, and I'm still excited when I see it. And then there's a great watercolor background there. You get 2 sheets of each of these patterns in a 12 by 12 pack of designer series paper. So that's a lot you can work with. I mean, just think, if you cut each of these papers into a 5 1/4 by 4" section, you would get 72 cards. 72 cards. That's a ton. That's a lot of gift sets you could make. It's a lot of birthdays you can send out. You would not need to limit your card list. Okay, we're getting started. Okay, so the first card we're going to make is this one right here. We're going to use that paper I just showed you. And I'm going to show you how to make a really simple card with this. You would not believe the small space I'm working in right now. I have got wires everywhere. It's crazy. These are the 2 stamp sets we're going to work with. Sending You Thoughts and Painted Poppies. This is actually a free Sale-A-Bration item, and it's level 1. So if you place a $50 order, you can choose this stamp set for free. And it's got some really great sentiments in it. There's a birthday set, and I like that there's one for the outside and the inside of your cards too. Because a lot of times people don't know what to write in their cards. So they like to stamp something on the inside. Well, this stamp set will let you do that. So there's birthday, there's congratulations, there's get well, there's thank you. So it covers all the occasions that most people send a card for. So this is a free item with a $50 order in the Sale-A-Bration catalog. We are going to use it today to make a birthday card. Let me show you the Peaceful Poppies elements that are also going to go on this card. I punched some of these out already, but you get a sheet of black elements here. There's circles, a little scallop border, a little banner. Then you have these that are also punch outs. And you can layer them and stack them on your card to make a really fun poppy bouquet. Turn them that way too. And you get 2 sheets of each of these types. So there's 2 of the black cut die cuts. There's 2 of those punch outs I just showed you. These ones are vellum, and we're going to use these on our card. You can watercolor these. You can color them with your Stampin Blends, which are the alcohol ink markers, or you can leave them as is. You can use a sponge brayer to roll ink on them. I think it'd be fun to crumple them up a little bit, because these are vellum. And when you crumple vellum, it tends to really make the crease marks pronounced. I think that'd be a cool look. And then we've got some watercolor sheets. I don't know if you can see this. The images are embossed on there. So when you watercolor them, those embossed lines resist the ink. So the ink will soak in to the unembossed places of the watercolor paper, and these embossed spaces will not have the ink. I have a bonus card I'll show you where I did do that. I'm not going to make it on camera, but I will show you what I did do. So, okay, let's get started, because we came here to stamp. Okay, so I'm going to start with a 11" by 4 1/4" of Rich Razzleberry cardstock, and I scored it down the middle at 5 1/2 inches. Now here's a tip. People always ask, I don't know which way to fold the cardstock after I've scored it. Well, if you can see, this is indented here. So this is when it goes down, that's called the valley. And where it pops out, that's the mountain fold. I don't know if you can see that. I want to make the raised or the mountain fold be on the inside of the card. So I'm going to fold it this way. It just makes for a much neater crease. And why do we score? Because we don't want the fibers in our cardstock to crack. Gives it a slightly unattractive look. All right, so we've got that card base there. Then we are going to take a piece of that beautiful Painted Poppies Designer Series paper. Let me get my adhesive. And I actually cut this one slightly larger than 4 inches by accident. This is actually 4 1/8 of an inch, but you can cut it to just 4 inches. It won't affect anything on your card, and it'll allow you to get an even 6 pieces out of that Designer Series paper. Now, okay, making sure I'm gluing this the right way, because the first time I made this card, I glued it upside down. That would have been funny. The person would have been wondering why they couldn't open up their card. Okay, so I'm using Tombow liquid adhesive to glue that on there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of those elements. Let me pull my sheets out. And I'm going to be using the vellum ones. I don't know if you can see on the original card, but these 3 leaves here and these 3 flowers here are from the Poppies Elements pack. And I'm going to punch out, but I'm going to color them before I punch them out. They're easier to color if you leave them intact on the sheet. So I'm going to be using Stampin Blends markers. And the ones I'm using are dark Calypso Coral and dark Mossy Meadow. Now the nice thing about alcohol ink markers is that you can color on anything with these. They work really great on non-porous surfaces. I'm going to flip these over so I'm coloring on the back side. And I'm going to do one. I need to get closer to these, so I apologize if my head is in the camera, but I have to be able to see what I am doing. I'm going to color one of the larger flowers, and I'm going to color 2 of these smaller ones. There's my first one, and I'm using the brush tip of this alcohol ink marker. You can use what's called the bullet tip if you want. They have 2 different tips, but because I'm coloring such a large area and I'm not so concerned about my color control, I'm going to go ahead and use the brush tip. And you do not need to press very hard. That color flows out so nice and smooth. And then I'm going to flip it over to see if I missed any spots. Nope, that looks good to me. All right, and make sure you cap your alcohol ink markers when you're done. Alcohol ink dries really quick, so we want to make sure we don't dry out our marker. Now I'm going to take my dark Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend marker, flip the element sheet over, and I'm going to color 3 of these leaves with it using the brush tip end of my dark Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend marker. And there's 1 leaf, there's the second one, and here's the third one. And I'm going to flip them over and see if I got it all. I did. It looks good. Okay. I'll cap that back up. And then all you have to do is punch these out. There we go. Be careful when punching out the leaves. The first time I did it, I accidentally tore off the little stem. It's kind of tiny, so it can be a little bit delicate, especially since this is vellum. So I'm going to pop those out, and I hope you can see the nice lines that are there. That's why I colored on the back with my Stampin' Blends, because I didn't really want to cover those out. I wanted those to really show. All right, so we have those 3 elements. And I'm going to glue those using snail adhesive onto my card front. So I'm going to you might want to lay them out first so that you can see where you want them to go. And then you'll have a good idea of where to put them. I like that. Okay, so I'm just got a little bit of adhesive onto my card. Now, a lot of people are wondering, what can I use to adhere vellum, because it's see-through. So you're worried about your adhesive showing through. And I found that snail actually doesn't show through. So I use that to glue or to adhere vellum a lot of times. Okay, I'll put that one there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick these little leaves on. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on that. Let's see, we'll put one there. And put one here. I've been dropping things a lot this week. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's because I'm tired, because I've been sick. My sleep schedule's been messed up because of the holidays. Who knows? I also have been off my regular eating schedule too. Not gonna lie about that. A little too much holiday goodness. But man, we had so many yummies brought to our house. Chocolate covered apples and cookies made for us. It was really good. I don't know if I want that there or if I want that up here. Nah, that covers that flower. So I'm gonna tuck that back there like that. Okay, that looks good. We aren't striving for perfection here. We're striving for handmade and done. Okay, so we got that. Next up, we're gonna add some of that crinkled seam binding ribbon and a stamped label. Now this label, let me get my die cuts. It comes from this die set right here that matches the Peaceful Poppies stamp set. I'm going to lay the die, I cut all the dies out for you so that you could see what they look like. But here's a giant label. Here's a really pretty circular scalloped one. This cuts out this poppy right here. And then this larger die cuts out this larger poppy right there. Then also in this set, we have two leaf dies that color out the leaves. And then we have this label, which is the one I'm going to stamp on to put on my card. We have this beautiful circular one, and they're stitching around this will show off sentiment nicely. This is my favorite piece of this die set. This little delicate, dainty scalloped border. I love it. But that is what these coordinating dies with the painted poppies set cut out. This is a bundle too, so if you buy them together, there's a 10% discount on that. So we're going to use this one right here. Let me set that aside because, like I said, I'm really cramped for space here. It's crazy. So, okay. And this stamp that I'm going to use for that with a great big wish for happiness, and that's part of that Sending You Thoughts Sale-A-Bration free set. And I wanted a multicolored, I wanted to go with 2 colors for that greeting. So to do that, I am going to use Stampin' Markers. Now these are different from Stampin Blends Markers. These have alcohol ink in them. These are water-based dye ink. You do not want to color on your stamps with the blends, alcohol-based ones. They will ruin your stamps. You want to use the Stampin' Markers that are water-based dye ink. They wash off easily. They won't eat away at the rubber. So again, these markers also have a very skinny tip and then a brush tip. I'm going to use the brush tip. I always use the brush tip when I'm coloring on my stamps because I find that it's easier to get the color exactly where I want it to go. And if you look at these markers, do you see how one line is thicker than the other? The thicker line indicates that's the end with the brush tip. The skinny line indicates that's the end with the fine point tip. That way you don't have to always uncap the marker to see which side you're going to be using. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and color. First, this is a Blackberry Bliss marker, and I'm going to color the larger letters on this sentiment with that particular marker. And if you get the ink somewhere you don't want it to be, just gently wipe it off with your finger, with a tissue, with a Q-tip maybe, and it'll come off. Now I'm going to use a Calypso Coral Mark Stampin' marker to highlight and color the smaller images. Okay, now this is very important. Once you've used those markers to color that, you want to re-moisten that ink. Ugh, I hate that word, but that's what you want to do. So what you want to do is you want to gently huff or breathe on it so that you can get the ink wet again. There you go. And then I'm going to stamp it right onto that die cut label. I used Whisper White to die cut it. And there you go. It comes out like this. This is one of my favorite techniques with the Stampin' Write markers. I really, really love creating multicolored images with it. So, okay, we got that. Because this is a dark cardstock, Rich Razzleberry, I'm going to put a Whisper White liner in here. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right now. And I'm actually going to use Happy Birthday, which is also from the Sending You Thoughts Sale-A-Bration stamp set. And I'm also going to do that in multicolors too. So let me find my markers again. Here we go. Using the exact same colors. Calypso Coral on the smaller letters. And I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss on the larger letters, which would be birthday in this case. Oh, don't you just love stamping? If you're new to it, I hope you come to love it. It's fun, it's relaxing, and what I really like is that it can serve a purpose. If you're stamping in your scrapbooks, you're giving your family something fun to look back on. If you're stamping to make cards, maybe you're sending a get well to somebody, it's fun to get fun mail. How often do you get fun mail anymore? Not too often. But when this shows up in the mail, especially if you stamp your envelope, it's always a surprise, a happy surprise. And it feels good to make people smile. That's why I called myself the Joyful Stamper, because I am so joyful when I am stamping, and I absolutely love to share and make people happy. Now, to get this crinkled seam binding ribbon on here, we are going to fold it in half like this, and we're going to lay it down on our card. To do that, I'm just going to run a line of snail on there. Let me move this. I'm going to run a line of snail, maybe like right there, and a second line. And this is folded in half. And I'm going to put it there, and I'll move the other tail down there. And with that, we can always trim the ends of the ribbon if it ends up being a little bit too long. Then my sentiment, I'm going to adhere with Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to use 2 of those, the regular size. We do have mini Stampin' Dimensionals, but this piece is big enough that it needs the bigger Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there, peel off the liner tape, and I'm going to lay this right over top of that crinkled seam binding ribbon, and I'm going to trim the tails a little bit. There we go. All right, now what we need to do, we need to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to take some of those sequins, the Peaceful Poppies sequins, and I am going to glue them to my card. Now, I'm going to use fine tip glue. You can see mine has seen better days, for sure. And I'm going to use my first card as a reference of where to put it. So let's open these up. There's one right there. And I actually don't pick through to try to find which one I want to use. I just go ahead and just grab whatever sticks to me. If you have a take your pick tool, that would be really handy to use. I do not. But your take your pick tool has putty at the end of the point so that you can just use the tool and just dip it in there and it'll stick right to it. I don't have it though, so I gotta use my fingers. So there's one. Let's add another one on the sentiment to kind of highlight that. And I'm just gonna grab one. Let's see. There's a Poppy Parade one there. And I'll put that on there and just give it a little tap with my paper snips to adhere it. Let's put another one maybe down here. Let's grab one, get a different color this time, and stick that one on there. Whoop. That one got flipped upside down. There we go. Stick that on there. And since this one came out, I'll find a place for that one. I'll put that one down there. All right, I think that looks good. Okay, put my cap back on there. There you go. That's our first card with the Peaceful Poppies Suite. I hope you like it. And like I said, if you cut these the right way, you can get what is it, 6 from each 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper. And I think this particular pattern was designed so that you could make a really quick, easy card with that. So, and then on the inside, it says happy birthday. It's always nice to start off the year with a stash of birthday cards, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's card number 1. I have a second card to do today, also using the Peaceful Poppies bundle, and it's a thank you card. And I decided to stick with the same stamp set. So we're still going to use Painted Poppies, and we're still going to use this free Sale-A-Bration Sending You Thoughts bundle, because I'm finding I'm getting a lot of use out of this one. I love the font of it, and it's just the right size. Just the right size for a card. Not too big, not too small. Perfect. So, okay, move my adhesives out of place. Let's get cleaned up for the next project. I always like to start with a clean space. Are you like that too? You can't move on to the next stamp project until you have the first one cleaned up. All right. I love, love, love the colors of this card. And again, I am using that Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper. I contemplated using this one, but ultimately I thought this side went better with this card. So we're going to start with a 5.5 inch by 8.5 inch piece of Poppy Parade cardstock, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to fold it, and I'm already losing things. There we go. Found my bone folder. I seem to have worked myself into a 1 foot by 1 foot area on my desk to stamp. Another common problem of stampers, right? Okay, and we have this piece of Designer Series paper. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Let me find this other piece. I threw it down. Okay, that's the other piece I want. And we are going to stamp the poppies. Let me see. Oh. Okay, I have pieces done ahead of time already, but I'm going to show you how I stamped those poppies. So we're going to do all the stamping at once. All right, and I'm going to use a Poppy Parade ink pad for the flowers, and then I'm going to use Old Olive for the leaves. Okay, so let's see, the larger flower is what we want first. There it is. So I'm going to stamp the larger flower in Memento ink. Stamp that there, like that. And then I'm going to stamp the smaller poppy, also in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, right there. And then I'm going to stamp the leaf in Old Olive ink, right there. And I would do one of the larger ones, and then I put 2 smaller ones on my card, and then I had 3 of these leaves. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll show you how I got color on them. So for this leaf, I took this stamp right here, this small splatter stamp from the Painted Poppies set, and I inked it up in Old Olive, and I just went over my leaf like that to add some mottled color. Let me close my black ink pad because I am guaranteed to get black ink on something. All right, and then for my poppies, I'm going to take this large watercolor stamp and I'm going to ink it up with Poppy Parade. And I'm going to push it or stamp on top of the large flower. And then I'm going to stamp on the smaller flower. And then to add even more detail, I'm going to take the larger splatter image from that stamp set and I'm going to add some splatters to that. There you go. Now, there are dies for that. So what I did then next is I took these to my die cutting machine and I used the dies that are part of this bundle. So that's the larger one. This is the smaller one. You just lay it on your die cutting machine, and then here's the little leaf one right there, and just run that through your die cut machine to cut those out. Now, if you want, you could fussy cut those. I do enjoy fussy cutting, but I really like the dies that came with this set, so I went ahead and just got the dies. Okay, let me put those away. And then, so that you wouldn't have to wait for me to die cut, I went ahead and I did that already. So here I've got my poppies. I die cut an extra one just because you never know. And I die cut 3 of those leaves. So I have that done. Now, I also die cut the largest label. The other card we just did, that was the smaller label. This is the larger one. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment on it in basic black, or memento tuxedo black. I'm going to do thanks on this one, but happy birthday would fit. I have a class coming up at the Swickley Public Library, and we are going to make this card, and I changed it to happy birthday because the theme of that class is birthday cards. But for this card, I'm going to use the thanks sentiment because we have a lot of thank yous to send out in this house because people were so nice to us over the Christmas holiday. So ink that up in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to stamp it towards the top right of this tag, just like that. And you don't have to press really hard. This is a small stamp, and if you press hard, you might end up blurring the image. So just a gentle touch is good with that. So, okay. So we have all our stamping done, and we can go ahead and put this card together. One piece that we're going to need is, if you see this black scalloped border right here, that's one of the punch outs from the Peaceful Poppies elements. And I believe all these elements are only $11. So this whole pack right here, all these things that you get, $11. You can use those on those cards 72 cards that you can get from the Designer Series paper pack. You can make a whole host of them. Get some cardstock in a few of those coordinating colors shown in the mini catalog. Get the Designer Series paper for this. Get a pack of these Peaceful elements, and you can make cards without even using a stamp set or a die cut or a die set. That would be all you would need. And then what you could do for your free Sale-A-Bration item is get the sending you thoughts stamp set with all those birthday and get well sentiments in it, and you can make 72 cards. Okay, there we go. We put the Designer Series paper down on there. Next thing we want to lay down is our stamped label, and we're going to use liquid glue for that. Oh, I've had laryngitis all week. I was a little concerned I wasn't going to have a voice for today. And it is a little scratchy, but it's making do. I have water nearby just in case. So then I have my stamped label down on there. The next thing I'm going to do is glue down this piece of Designer Series paper. Okay. And we'll just lay that down right there. I like the mix of patterns on this card. And that's what's nice when you buy pattern paper in a pack like that. You know that they're all going to go together. It's all going to mix and match. So you can mix and match the patterns on your card, and it's going to look good. Okay, then we're going to add this scalloped piece from the Elements pack to our card. Just add a thin strip there and lay that right on top of that green striped pattern paper. Now for these poppies, we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, and these leaves are going to get mini Stampin' Dimensionals because they are tinier. So I'll add one there, one there, one there, and let's add some mini ones to this. I love putting layers on my card. Lots and lots of layers, lots and lots of details, and Stampin' Dimensionals lets me do that easily because I can tuck things under and above and around because of the way the dimensionals give a little bit of lift to whatever you're adhering to your card base. So, okay, I'm going to layer on first the large poppy, and then I'm going to layer on one of the smaller ones. And then we have the second smaller poppy. And now comes the tucking and layering. See how I can slip that right underneath there so easily? And then we'll add this one, the second leaf. And then I've got the third leaf right there. Okay, then we're going to take our crinkled seam binding ribbon and I'm going to tie a bow with it. So make a large loop, push it through. All right, and just play with it to adjust it, to get it the way you want it, and then trim it. And then I'm going to use glue dots to stick this on. Oh my glue dot roll has unrolled. And I'm just going to push my ribbon onto the glue dot roll, pull it back off, and I'm going to add it to my card right there. There we go. And again, I'm going to pull out those sequins, the Peaceful Poppies sequins, and I'm going to use my fine tip glue to add a few. 2 up there, maybe squeeze 1 at the bottom. So let me add a couple drops here. And let's see what we can pull out of here. Let's see what we can pull out. Ooh, there's a little flower. Nice. And here's a little gold one. Nice. Ooh, I love adding all the little pretties to the cards. Okay, get those to stay down. It'll take a little bit for this glue to dry, so just be patient with it. Make your card, then set it aside for a while. You know, make another card. Go fix yourself a cup of tea or coffee or something. There you go. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. So there you go. You've got that card too. Same suite, same products, totally different look. So there's the 2 cards we made. Don't you love them? Ooh, love them. But wait, there's more. I made a 3rd card with this suite. Let me set those ones aside for now. This one. Remember I told you earlier in the Peaceful Poppies Elements pack, they had watercolored images? Well, I punched some of those out and I used them on this card. This is a Blackberry Bliss piece of cardstock. And I used a different pattern from the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper pack. And this black, I don't know what you want to call it, pennant flag is from the Peaceful Poppies Element set. I just punched it out of there. And I stamped my sentiment from the Sending You Thoughts stamp set. That's that set free Sale-A-Bration one. I stamped it on there in white or in Versamark ink, put some white embossing powder on it, and I heat set it with a heat gun. Then I die cut this Mossy Meadow. It almost looks like a nest frame. And that's part of the die cut bundle too that comes with this. Crinkled seam binding ribbon, and I watercolor those Peaceful Poppies elements. I used rich raspberry ink, and I used what did I use? Mossy or Old Olive ink and an aqua painter brush. And I used my heat tool to dry it, or you could set it aside, but I was a little impatient. I popped those up on dimensionals, and that was that card. And then on the inside, I put the inside sentiment from the Sending You Thoughts stamp set in there, and then I used my Stampin' Right markers to stamp this poppy image right here from the Painted Poppies stamp set. So that's a 3rd option too. So aren't these pretty? Oh my gosh, I love these. Yes. So as part of the catalog launch party today, I am actually having ordering specials that are going until Monday, January 6th at midnight Eastern time. Let me grab my stuff here. That. Grab this. Okay. And also, if you share this video, that will give you an entry, and I have a jar of black shimmer Stampin' Emboss powder here. So for every time you share this video, just type shared in the comments after you're done sharing, and I will put your name in a drawing for this shimmer black Stampin' Emboss powder, and then I will let you know if you have one, and I will get that in the mail to you in my fun purple package there. Okay, so ordering specials. Let me grab a marker here. Okay. So as you can see, there's a host code right here at the top. That's the host code that's going to be used for my catalog launch party ordering special. So any size order, I will have a mega tutorial that will be emailed to you. It will have all the photos, and it will have all the step-by-step instructions for all the projects I make today. So that will include these 3 here. So it'll be the 2 that I make with each demonstration, and it will include the bonus project that I have in my demonstration too. So that'll be a total of 9 projects. I'll get those sent out at the end of next week. So any size order using this host code here will get you the mega tutorial with all 9 projects that we put together today. Then if you, at the $50 order level, you'll still get the tutorial, plus you'll get any level 1 Sale-A-Bration item from the Sale-A-Bration catalog. There it is. Right here. From this Sale-A-Bration catalog, you can pick any level 1 item out of there. Now, if you go up, bump your order up to $75, you will get the tutorial. You will get the level 1 SAB or Sale-A-Bration item. Plus, I have these packs of 4-inch by 6-inch designer series paper samplers. I've cut them all down to size for you. They're perfect for card making. They're perfect for scrapbook pages. You can use them as photo mats. You can use them as journaling mats. So there's a whole bunch of different colors and patterns in there. There's even masculine ones in there. And these papers are all from the Sale-A-Bration and Mini catalog. There's the Honeybee specialty paper, the Country Club, and Lily Pad Impressions designer series paper. So it's $75. You'll still get the mega tutorial. You can pick a level 1 Sale-A-Bration item, and you can get a 4x6-inch DSP paper sampler. So pretty good specials. Yeah. And if you go up to $100, well, you get to pick even more from the Sale-A-Bration catalog. And at the $150 level, you're still going to get all this stuff. Plus, you get to pick out Stampin' Rewards, which is Stampin' Up product that's free of your choosing. And you can choose it from the clearance rack too if you really want to stretch your Stampin' Reward dollars. So lots of freebies today, lots of good reasons to order, lots of beautiful product to play with. So, and my site to shop at is shopwithnicole.stampinup.net. And this is the host code up here. You want to use that host code with your order because that tells me that you want the mega tutorial and you want the 4x6 designer series paper sampler too. So don't forget to order by Monday, January 6th at midnight Eastern time. All right, and I will see you guys again at 1 p.m. today. And at 1 p.m. I'll be doing the From My Heart bundle. So I'll have some Valentine's Day projects for you. So I hope to see you guys then. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching the replay. Bye.